Okay, using the resource demand data shown on the left and the resource supply data on the right, let's try to figure out how many workers this firm would employ. Now, in order to do this, we need to set the marginal resource cost for labor equal to the marginal revenue product for labor. Turns out we don't have either piece of those information at hand, but we can derive them from the data that we have in the table. So let's bring in a spreadsheet. The first thing that we would need to do is calculate the total cost for labor, because that's how we're going to get the marginal resource cost for labor. The next thing we'll need to do is calculate marginal revenue product for labor, but we'll need total revenue first. So I've put stars all across the rows for the 0 employment level, since there's nothing to calculate. Now for the first worker, the total cost for labor is just going to be $1 times $1. So let's enter that figure, $1. Then 2 times 2, so that's 4. And then 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. And then we have 5 times 5, 25. 6 times 6, 36. But what we want to get now is the marginal resource cost for labor, which is simply the change in the total cost for labor associated with hiring additional workers. So from hiring nobody to hiring one worker, the cost is, of course, $1. All right, obviously, if you don't hire anybody, there's no cost at all. And then the cost change from hiring one worker to 2 workers, a change in 3. That's 1 to 4. So we enter here 3. And then from 4 to 9, we have 5. From 9 to 16, we have 7. From 16 to 25, we have 9. And from 25 to 36, we have 11. Okay, now it's time to move on to total revenue. Total revenue is just P times Q. We have P here, and total product, of course, is Q. That's your total production. So 15 units times $2, that gets us $30. And the next one we have is 28 times $1.80. And of course, we'll need a calculator for that, so I'll bring that up on the board. 28 times $1.80. And that gives us $50.40. So let's enter 50, 40. And then our next one is 39 at $1.60. So bring the calculator in again. 39. Whoops. 39 times $1.60. And that gets us $62.40. So we'll enter that. And then the next one is 48 times $1.40. So 48 times $1.40. And that gets us $67.20. So we'll add that one in. And then the next one is 55 times $1.20. So 55 times $1.20. That gets us 66. And then the last one is $1 times 60, and of course we can just calculate that on our own. That's $60. Okay, our marginal revenue product, of course, is the difference between these numbers. So for the first worker, the marginal revenue product is 30. Then it goes from 30 to $50.40, so that's $20.40. And then from $50.40 to $62.40, that's a difference of $12. And then from $62.40 to $67.20, that's $4.80. And really, we don't need to go much further than this, because now total revenue is going to start to tank. And of course, we wouldn't be hiring any workers if total revenue were falling. So what we need to take a look at here is balancing our marginal resource cost against our marginal revenue product. Well, that first worker, 30 is greater than 1, we're going to hire him. The second worker, $20.40 is greater than 3, we'll hire him. That next worker, $12 is greater than the 5, we'll hire him. But the next worker, the marginal revenue product is $4.80, and that falls short of the marginal cost of hiring that worker of $7. So we'd stop short right here and only hire up to the point where marginal resource cost for labor is just a little bit less than the marginal revenue product for labor. And of course, that is at the total cost for labor, which would be the third worker.